It has been quite a minute since I uploaded on this channel. My last upload that I had was on December 24th of last year, so I haven't uploaded a single video this year yet. This part of the video will be me explaining where I have been for the past 6 to 10 months and where I'm going to take my channel in the future. If you're new or fairly new to my channel, you can also skip this part of the video as the tour of my survival world starts right here. The first half of this video really only applies to my subscribers and other people concerning where I've been, basically. Basically, in short, I definitely don't want to leave my channel completely in the dark, as I still want to continue to build my channel and possibly connect with more members of the community. So now let's talk about what's going to happen with my channel going forward. In terms of Skywars, it's pretty much dead for the most part. So sadly, I don't think I'll be making another big Skywars project anytime soon unless somehow the game gets magically revived, which, let's be honest, that's never going to happen. Secondly, what you're seeing me play right now, which is my Turbo Kart series, I haven't uploaded a season highlights video in about a year and a half, and many of you are dying to see another one, in which case, it might happen. I definitely want to upload at least one more TKR highlights video for you guys, as I still have to make one in 60 FPS. And I might also launch like a new series, called like Turbo Kart Tuesday or something, where I sit down and talk about stuff that my subscribers or fans ask me, or as well as other stories that I want to eagerly talk about or that are on my mind. Lastly is live streaming on Twitch. As of right now, I have no intentions on coming back to stream on Twitch at the moment. Now where I've been, the simple answer is college. I haven't uploaded any projects, guides, or anything Hypixel or Minecraft related because I was heavily focused on getting high grades for my sophomore year of college. Ironically, this actually paid off because I now sit near the top of my class at the university I'm currently attending. My last semester was pretty stressful in and of itself, and one of the things I did on the side was my survival world on Hypixel. So far, I've made really great progress on this world since the end of January, and it's pretty much gives me another outlet to vibe out and relax. I honestly thought to myself, why not document this as a series on my YouTube channel that I still have many thoughts and ideas about uploading on? This also gave me more versatility as a content creator while also uploading videos that are much more compatible with the current YouTube algorithm for Minecraft especially, as many survival and hardcore survival Minecraft videos are relatively popular at the moment. Ultimately, it's time for a change. What I'm planning on doing with this series is to make each episode somewhere around 10 minutes aside from this one, obviously, basically showing off the newer stuff that I build, obtain, or other random things that possibly happen within my survival world. Personally, I've thought about this decision a lot, and I'm looking forward to this new chapter while still editing relatively effortlessly and confidently at a high level, like always. Also, about a week or so ago marked the 6-year anniversary of when I created my YouTube channel, so what better way to celebrate it than to go ahead and show you my 6-month survival world that I've built so far on Hypixel. Now that I've updated you all as to where my channel is kinda gonna be headed now, it's time to begin showing you my 1.18 survival world that I've been working on in my free time for the past couple months or so when I've been at university and for the first month of my summer vacation. But first, for starters, I currently reside in a massive snow biome. Many biomes surrounding it are thousands of blocks away. As of right now, I don't have a map room in my world, so I'll have to use Chunkbase for a quick reference to explain where everything currently is located in my world. My house and most of my surrounding builds are near an igloo and a village just north of my world's spawn point with a bordering snowy taiga biome nearby. Additionally, most of the stuff I've built so far in my world actually took me around a couple days to 2 weeks to build, gathering most of my ideas from YouTube as I'm definitely not the best builder by any means. However, I still try and make the builds as original as possible, incorporating the structure of the build to fit in with the overall environment and other building styles that I liked using when I was a part of a lot of streamer SMPs in the past. Most of the builds that I've made so far follow this really rustic and Nordic style to accommodate for my large-scale snow biome. It's honestly a style concept that I've really enjoyed playing around with so far, as I definitely want to continue utilizing it for other builds I have planned in the future. So enough of me rambling. Without further ado, let's finally hop into the tour. So actually, while I'm in here, we can begin with a tour of my house. So let me go outside really fast. So this is my crib. It's basically a winter cabin, and it conveniently has everything you really ever need. So let me walk around to the back here and show you some of the stuff on the inside. So, look, little block Enderman placed. So, there's 4 main sections to my house. So, the first section is this kitchen right here. So, this is where I cook a lot of food, smelt doors, do additional crafting and brewing. And also where I store like most of my food and stuff. I also have this mini blue table here, as sometimes this is where I like to chill AFK if I'm away and occupied with other things. The next part of my house is this little section here. This is where all my dogs, my birds, and these 3 unsorted double chests. This is the only section of my house I have yet to finish, as I still need to unsort all of these double chests here into my storage hall so I can finally design this portion inside my house. So I'm probably going to go for a nice living room with a fireplace like right here to kind of accommodate for the one outside. I don't think I showed you guys, well, maybe I did, but this is my fireplace on the outside. So it's gonna be mostly a way for just kind of like a cozy area for my pets and for me to basically chill AFK once more. So I'm probably gonna design this maybe by like the next episode, like off camera or something. Yeah, but hopefully it'll be done at some point. So let's go upstairs here and I'll show you guys my enchanting space. So this is my enchanting space. All my tools, weapons, and armor, it can go up to level 30. Also, all of my cats, for some reason, they like to stay upstairs. I don't know why. This area here, next to my enchanting area, is my keeping space. This is where I write down all of my thoughts and ideas about, you know, my world, or maybe observations that I have, stuff like that. Didn't write and direct all of those Skywars projects for nothing. I'm also thinking for all of my episodes in this series in particular to come up here at the end of each episode and write down what I plan to do for each and every upcoming episode, like what structures, farms, or anything else I kind of want to implement, stuff like that, so we can come back up here at the end of the tour and we'll write down what I plan to accomplish in the next episode. And then this is my bedroom. This is most notably where I sleep and where all the magic happens. I got a nice ender chest here. This is actually the only one in my world so far. Cartography table, workbench, loom. So all in all, it's a pretty solid house that definitely gets the job done, to say the least. Also, one recurring theme that you might see throughout my builds is that I like to go for a lot of like fences and a lot of striped roofs to try and give the builds like a little bit more character. So that's something to look out for throughout this entire tour of my world so far. Another thing that I just did to the interior of my house is that I installed this gray carpet in the upstairs area because I've actually been having like an Enderman problem as they keep teleporting into my house in like the wee hours of the night. And also I fixed the edge of my bed, my bedroom, to look a bit nicer. Wait, Zazu, what are you doing here? Oh no, not this again. This also brings me to my next thing to show you guys, which is something I like to do in my downtime on this world when I don't really feel like doing that much at all, which is ice fishing. So this spot right here is somewhere I like to go and relax and get a whole bunch of fish and really other cool items, such as name tags with my nice Luck of the Sea fishing rod. And it makes me collect a whole bunch of items for about 20 to 30 minutes or so. So it's just great. I'm still also trying to fish for mending books. So eventually I'll have mending on most of all of my tools, and also I definitely need a better pickaxe because mine's about to break. Speaking of pickaxes, I've actually made 2 more diamond pickaxes. One is another one with Fortune 3, and then another one is with Silk Touch. And that's so I can get like a bunch of ice blocks and stuff for my nether hub, which I'll show you guys later. The only thing I haven't gotten yet while fishing is mending books, so I might have to go out and hunt for buried treasure in another episode probably. Also, when you go fishing, you're going to get a bunch of junk such as leather and string, so eventually you're going to need a storage space of some kind to put your stuff in. So in that case, we might as well check out mine. So we walk over here. This is my storage hall. So basically this is where I keep all my loot. It's basically this big long hallway in this hill and even underneath my house down here that extends both ways basically. This is also my dream storage area, as for some reason I've always wanted to have a storage unit that's just in one big straight line, so it's so much easier to probably get things. It's also really convenient to get materials, as it has everything you really ever need, but also one little addition I still need to make for the storage hall is probably that I have to extend it off camera at some point, because I am running out of things to actually like put down in here, which is it's kind of a problem. But also something I have hidden away in the storage room is my secret vault. This area is the place where I like to keep all of my ores and other precious materials like my diamonds, ancient debris, and emeralds, and I can even smelt ores here whenever I please, so pretty nice. I'm also not going to show you where that room is because it would totally ruin the point of the secret, obviously. In addition to my secret vault is how I actually acquire my valuables. So we're walking up this big pathway here that takes me all the way up to my strip mine. So this strip mine, otherwise known as Hell's Crystals, it's a double layer strip mine with a built-in water elevator going all the way down the bedrock so I can get up and down relatively quickly. And the reason why it's 2 layers is because in 1.18 primarily iron and diamonds are commonly found at 2 different levels, with diamonds being common close to bedrock and iron being common around like Y16, as well as most other ores. Compared to everything in Minecraft before that, diamonds were pretty common around like Y12, Y11, and everything else was pretty much scattered around in caves mostly. So let's go ahead and go down this water elevator, and while I go down, you might notice these little air bubbles in between the water elevators strictly because I don't actually have respiration on my helmet. So basically it allows me to sit here until I have enough air bubbles, and then I can continue to go back up or down without dying, because this water elevator, remember, it goes all the way down to basically bedrock. Goodbye, glow squid. Also, in addition to glow squid, this water elevator kind of has a lot of glow squid, and it kind of functions as like a mini glow squid farm because it goes all the way into the deeper levels of caves and stuff, so I don't really have to worry about making an automatic glow squid farm anyways in the future, so that's pretty good. Also, I just want to mention that Dream is a big noob at Minecraft. So anyways, this is my iron mine, or what I like to refer to as my power mine, because this is where I get most of my ores and stuff from this level, such as iron, gold, copper, lapis, redstone, and also coal. Coal is a very scarce resource in 1.18 as well. So we're at about Y16, obviously, and most of these items actually spawn pretty commonly at this level in the new 1.18 update. So you can kind of see these little shafts here. I haven't really worked on this mine shaft in particular, like designing it or anything. So now let's go deeper down to where my diamond mine is. It is all the way down at bedrock level, and we are down at about Y-59. And this is where diamonds are mostly common, and where I like to strip mine most of them in my world. let me go back over here. I have a nice little storage area over here in case like my inventory gets full, because mining diamonds is a lot of hard work, obviously. We go back over here. This is where my my mine shafts are. This is kind of what I want them to look like, you know, individually. But yeah, this is the lower level of my mine shaft. So that's basically a tour of my mine. I kind of only go mining if I'm running low on a particular resource like gold, iron, diamonds, or whatever else. So overall, pretty neat. I also want to expand out some of the areas of the mine as well in the future, but probably off camera mostly. Also, while I'm walking down this pathway here, going down to my house and stuff, I might as well talk about the design for my pathways. So it's essentially just a basic cobblestone pathway with these really simple jack-o'-lantern lamp posts, because I thought they would fit in quite nicely with my snow biome, and I absolutely love these things. The best thing about these lamp posts are also at nighttime, as they light up most of the surrounding areas of my builds. You can see in the distance. I'm going to up my render distance a little bit. Maybe like 10 or 11. There you go. So it surrounds the areas for my builds very well, as it allows all sorts of mobs to stay away from them at nighttime. Also, I can play around with these little jack-o'-lantern lampposts, as I can just put them in all sorts of directions, as you can see here, for twisting and turning certain pathways and stuff when I design them. So it's pretty pretty intuitive, actually. Another thing I can play around with on these pathways is the piled snow off to each side. I think this is like the best example, like right here. So it's like basically shoveled snow, like off your own driveway, when you have blizzards and stuff, so that way the paths stand out more, obviously. They also kind of function as if they're like a mini snowball farm as well. But I also kind of like the snow like on the pathways, as it kind of gives it a little more character to the build rather than just being a normal cobblestone pathway. One embarrassing thing to tell you guys was when I made these pathways originally, I didn't know how to make like actual snow with like 3 snow blocks like on a crafting table until somebody told me about it like back in April. So altogether, I'm pretty happy with the way my pathways turned out. So I'm probably going to roll with this design for basically the rest of them when I get to some of my future builds as well going forward. So as I mentioned before, one of my favorite things about the cobblestone pathways are my jack-o'-lantern lampposts, and a big reason I make so many of them are for my pumpkin and melon farms. It's basically just a typical pumpkin and melon farm you would typically make when you start out a survival world. So nothing too fancy or special, to say the least. Though I haven't used like a lot of melons yet, I use a lot of pumpkins, obviously, as they're kind of a big commodity for me to have in my world, especially because of the design concepts I like to incorporate or come up with for my builds in my snow biome, as they look insanely well. So overall, they're both really handy when needed or utilized, and I'm sure I'm going to need a lot of melons for like brewing and stuff in the future. So the next farm that I have is where I keep all of my crops for the most part, which is my everything farm, otherwise known as my Dal plantation. So the entire farm, as you can see here, is in the shape of a yin-yang, with the contrast of the different crops used for the farm itself being the difference of the light side and the dark side. And if we actually, I'm going to go outside and build up with my scaffolds. And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like from super sky high. So this is what the farm looks like from all the way above, as it's mainly made up of wheat, carrots, potatoes, and sugarcane, as well as it has bamboo surrounding the entire outside of the farm. My Dal plantation itself is large enough to supply me with enough food and stuff like that for the most part. Though I am planning to start building some automatic farms in the future and stuff. So maybe possibly within the next couple episodes or so, as I might have like a secret area for those. Do you guys hear that? It sounds like my render distance is on 2 because we're in my animal pen. So this is kind of like a pavilion area that houses all of my cows, pigs, sheep, and chickens. I'm gonna go all the way outside to show you guys what it looks like from the exterior. So that's basically what it looks like, kind of like a pavilion shaped area. So this is most notably where I breed all my animals and also slaughter them if they get too overpopulated, as well as get wool from sheep over here. So if we go down here, I'm gonna quickly turn off my animal sounds because it's so annoying. So this is my manual egg farm. So I set up hoppers inside my own chicken farm with a nice storage area all around, so you can take out all of the eggs from the hoppers and then store them inside the chest. So this farm also gets extremely efficient when you end up having a lot of chickens inside of here at the same time. So it's a pretty good way of actually collecting eggs, as also somewhat faster than the most automatic chicken farms when first starting on a survival world. So it's pretty convenient, to say the least. An additional farm I have in this world is my tree farm, which is also known as the orchard. For some reason, this area here is like a fan favorite in this world. I have no idea why, but I've shown some of my close friends this world, and they really like this farm for some reason. Like, it's just like a typical tree farm. I have no idea why. The exact name of this farm actually comes from Dan TDM's tree farm in his old Xbox 360 survival world back in, I believe, 2013 or so. So, pretty cool little Easter egg. But anyways, this farm has basically all the wood you basically ever need, aside from acacia, the two nether tree types, and also mangroves, in which Hypixel still hasn't updated to 1.19 yet for SMP beta. So I have no idea what the case there is, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to make another tree farm sometime soon. So let's take a tour of what woods I got in here. So I got oak, I got jungle, I got birch, I got spruce, of course, and also dark oak. As mainly spruce and dark oak are what I use for some of the particular designs and builds for my world. One of the many projects I have in mind for this world is possibly recreating this entire village that's nearby my home and most of my structures that I've built so far in my world. Some of the upcoming projects actually involve me doing stuff within this village, particularly in the next 2 episodes or so. So be on the lookout for those. The next thing to show you guys is how I get a ton of XP on this world, which is through my mob grinder right here. Oh man. So this mob grinder is up at about like Y180 or so. So if we go on F3 right now, we're at Y156. And that's because of spawn rate. So if you decide to build a mob farm way high up in the sky, like over top a river or an ocean biome, the chances of hostile mobs like actually spawning in your mob grinder will be much higher compared to like if it's on land, which is conveniently what everyone's really looking for. I actually attempted to build my first mob grinder like in this little open grass area right here where all these torches are. And ironically, nothing basically spawned in it because of a deep cavern system, which is actually below all of my house and my builds. So that is why this guy is up here. So yeah, now let's talk about how this farm actually works. So essentially, all of the mobs basically drop from this flying saucer thing like way up here, and then they take so much fall damage you can essentially just one-tap them with your fist if you want to, or you can just use your sword. That guy almost exploded. So basically, all loot from the mobs will go through these hoppers right here and then into these chests down here. And when like a certain row basically gets filled up, I can just transfer it all into my storage hall. Another story to kind of tell you guys is my near-death experience on this world, is I still haven't died yet, ironically, and it's not even in hardcore, so I'm actually pretty proud of that. So like back when I was building my mob grinder, I fell off about like 185 blocks or so, like in the air, and I landed this crazy MLG water bucket clutch like down there in that ice river down there. So I wish I honestly recorded it, but hey, I still haven't died yet on this world, even when I went caving, like, first starting out. So that's that. It's honestly pretty impressive. So now we're walking to a place where I think my first death is probably going to take place, and that's my nether. So we're gonna go through this haunted house here in my little mountain. We're gonna go down this little hallway, and that's gonna get us to my portal room. So this is my portal room. This is where I travel in and out of my nether. This is also an area in my world where I also like to sit here AFK at these little piston tables here. These are actually like the piston tables I have in my own house, as well as like the overall nature of it being like super detailed, like all around, and just super spooky looking. So now let's go inside my nether, and I'll go ahead and show you guys my nether hub that I currently have built. So this is my nether hub. It's a multi-layered octagon. I'm gonna get up on one of these lampposts here. So it's a multi-layered octagon with all 4 cardinal directions in each of the main sides. So those of you out there that have like an IQ of like 65, the N, for example, points to the north. This is also good because you don't have to press F3 all the time anymore, unless you're exploring like a fortress or a bastion while you're in the nether. So it's pretty convenient. It's also completely spawn proof with no mobs such as like pigments, ghast, or skeletons that can like actually spawn in here. I also want to mention like 2 additional things, is that my portal design for the hub is actually the same one that is currently in my my nether portal room. So if you go back, it's the same dimensions and everything, and has the same design like going around it. So you can kind of see it a little bit. And then another thing I did was I started working on these 2 tunnels here because I want to try and find another fortress, and I still haven't found one in this world yet. And it's like, I don't know, it's probably like super far away. That's what it seems like. I've found like a couple bastions, but that's about it. This nether kind of sucks, to be honest with you. So ironically, my nether hub isn't like all the way finished yet, as I still have to do the 2nd floor and also my roof. What I'm planning to do for my 2nd floor is to kind of raise this little level of netherrack here and make most of the walls mainly out of like bookshelves. So it's going to be kind of like almost like a library, but it's also going to be my nether hub. It's going to be sick. So, yeah, that's definitely a project for another day because, oh boy, I still need a ton of leather before I do all that. But other than that, like, for like a single player or a small multiplayer survival world, I think it's perfect. Even right now, considering, like, the circumstances of it, like, not being, like, completely finished yet, like, I'm, like, really happy with this thing so far. One other thing I'll show you guys from my nether is that my entire first story is mainly made out of like blackstone material, and I actually have a huge nearby bastion like right near my nether hub, and it's absolutely freaking huge. So if we go a little bit down my north tunnel here, like right here, you can basically see this thing. It's just fucking, it's absolutely massive. This is also where I can pretty much gather all my blackstone materials, as I'll never really have to go as far as this to like get any blackstone. And this is also where I found my pig step disc, which one of my birds named Zazu was dancing to earlier. God, that bird is weird, let me tell you. So other than that, that's pretty much everything like up to date that I've built so far in this world. So now let's go back home and let's go to my keeping space in my house to determine what I'm planning to do for my next episode. So now let's write down exactly what I have in store for you guys the next time around. So let's open up the idea book here. We're gonna first do is we're going to work on the nether tunnels first, and then that's eventually going to get us to the second thing, which is trying to find a nether fortress. So that way we can get blaze rods and additional nether wart for the third thing I want to eventually do by the end of the episode, which is to build a apothecary. This is going to be a house that I'm going to have many vital importances for potion making and potion storage, as I need to keep a place to store all my potions and put them in one convenient location. And what I'm also planning to do with the apothecary is also, this is where I want my cleric to live as well. So there's many trade-offs that are going to basically come with this, and it's going to be really cool once it's finished. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I heavily enjoyed being your tour guide today, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.